so many moments in that game. It was a tense game. But your ace goes out to the mound and does ace stuff. 12 up, 12 down, 7 strikeouts before you even bat an eye. Settles in, still goes 7, including facing the heart of the order in that 7th inning. He was feeling it. He was taunting the crowd. He was buzzing. But there's this dread in the back of your mind going, they're going to waste this Skubal start. They turn double plays. They're playing good defense. They're pitching. They just need 1 run. John, they got 3. And you just heard it there from Dickerson. Kerry Carpenter, not only 2 outs, but 2 strikes. Clase leaves him back-to-back sliders over the heart of the plate, and he didn't miss the second time.
Nope.
It's the first home run Clase has given up to a left-handed batter all season. It's the only home run he's given off on a slider this season. It's Kerry Carpenter hitting the hardest ball off of Clase this year, and it's the Tigers who have now evened this up 1-1. And, John, think about what this means. Clase, that's their one big bad guy at the end of the bullpen that nobody can hit. Well, he's not unhittable anymore. It takes the wind out of their sails. They come to Detroit, and the pressure's all on them. They need to win both of these games. Because if they only win one, Tarek Skubal's coming back, and he's going to wreck their season on Saturday.
He's going to terrorize them.
They have to win both at a zoo of a ballpark. Comerica Park is going to be a decade in waiting, loud, raucous, and electric. Good luck, Cleveland. This is why we said don't panic, John. That game yesterday was everything. It's 8-9, Gritty getting on base. It's a pinch hitter, Carpenter, who wasn't in the opening lineup, delivering. It's everything this team has done. And it's hard not to get emotional about it. So we've opened up the phone lines, 248-539-9797. There's a Carpenter question. I said it's the biggest home run the Tigers have hit since Maglio. In my life, only Maglio hit a bigger home run. Jeff Rieger last night said he thought that was bigger. And Tom, you said Caputo echoed the same thoughts on his show. He thought Carpenter's home run was bigger.
Yeah, and I was surprised by that. And, look, this is an opinion thing, okay?
Yeah.
But Pat is pretty studious with baseball.
Oh, of course.
And I definitely have a massive respect for him on something like this when he puts his opinion towards it. And he said, along with Rieger, they saddle this to Clase being in the pitcher. The Mags went up against Houston Street in that moment. He was a solid reliever, but nothing like Clase. Clase's been referred to as Mariano Rivera. By the way, remember that shot I took at him yesterday? I had to wait. I was waiting for that one, saying nobody's invincible. But yeah, they both said Carpenter because of the moment. The Tigers were scoreless for 17 2/3 innings here. And when I was sitting there, I kept looking out at that box score on the scoreboard in between innings and had all the makings of a team that was going to blow an Ace's awesome outing, especially with the guys left on base. I mean, Cleveland didn't have base runners. They had some threatening moments, and I think it just changed the series. And I equated this to watching Clase because he then pitched to Vierling, and Vierling got on they kind of bobbled it, and Clase didn't get over in time. He was rattled maybe a little bit.
Absolutely was.
Watching him walk to the dugout in person reminded me of Patrick Waugh walking off in Game 7 against the Wings when the Wings scored 4 in the first and they pulled him.
Well, that's an all-timer. I mean, this is going to be one that people reference forever.
Sure.
I mean, it's Yzerman's double OT, it's Tayshaun's block, it's St. Brown clinching a playoff game. I mean, you could put it in the pantheon. But to me, you want to talk about what that home run did. It evened the series. Maglio ended the series. This evened the ALDS. Maglio sent the Tigers to the World Series. Maglio was at home. It was a walk-off. There was no half inning coming up later. There was no other game in the series. The Tigers are going to the World Series.
Yep.
No disrespect to Pat, who knows baseball. No disrespect to Rieger, although, we like to throw that to him. Maglio's home run is better. Bigger, better, however you want to phrase it.
It's the best since Maglio.
Yes.
And to me, Maglio's was the best since Kirk Gibson.
See, and that was
84
before
series.
I was alive.
Right. So, and I'm cautioning myself not to go full, Stoney on this, but I'm not that old. And there are a lot of people listening that when that happened, I rank him as Gibby's because that was in the World Series.
He doesn't want to walk you.
And then it was Mags because it was to go to the World Series. And then I put Kerry Carpenter's third And I don't want to disparage what happened yesterday.
No.
But it didn't seal the series. It sent it home with the advantage. But those two, to me, will always remain above what Gary Carpenter did because of the situation, because the context of which they happened.
I remained, and this is so lame right now, to be determined on this. I need to see how this plays out because Mags did send them. Oh, boy. Here he goes. He's looking for, I've been doing that a lot lately.
Yeah, what's gotten into you?
Look, because I do think they need to advance for this to live in a,
in infamy.
Yeah, and I kind of equate it to the Yzerman double OT goal, which I was in person for, and I spontaneously bought tickets for, much like this. And both games were 0-0, and it was coming down to the line, and that was a game-clinching goal by Yzerman. It's always lost a little luster for me because they failed and they didn't win. And I think they got to at least win this series to put this up above Mags. What I think an important question to ask here, Gibby, Mags, and Carp.
I think John nailed the order.
What happens if they don't hit it?
Well, if they don't hit it, it's still 0-0 yesterday, and Clase is likely leaving the game in short order. I don't know what happens. If Maglio doesn't hit the home run, the Tigers are still tied 2-on, right?
Yeah.
Maybe they still score the run.
Or maybe you ask it, well, what if they all got out?
Okay. I think John nailed the order, though, because it's not about what if they didn't. It's that they did and what them doing it accomplished. It's a home run in the World Series. I think the only thing that tops Maglio in my lifetime is if someone wins a World Series game with a home run or wins the entire World Series with a home run. Carpenter didn't do those things, and it's not to take away from it. We're all buzzing. We all love the hit. It's just if you're going to say it's better than Maglio, I need more than just, well, it kept the series afloat. Maglio ended the series. There was no coming back. There was no historic 3-0 comeback for the A's. It's over. The Tigers are going to the World Series. As great as Carpenter's moment was last night, as I woke up this morning, John, the Tigers are not in the World Series.
Right.
I think for now I will say Mags, but I think there's room for this to become bigger. This is still soaking in. I mean, it happened, 13 hours ago?
Right.
And I know that when Mags hit his, I jumped up in euphoria. And I had the similar experience with my kids and my wife yesterday at the game. That was the similarity was it was very even in terms of just pure joy, ecstasy, hugging people, high-fiving strangers, and I believe for this to trump Mags, they've got to win the series.